Shalom, Shalom Israel. First and foremost, I want to give all honor, glory, and praises unto YAHAWAH, YAHAWASHI, YAHAWAH, double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and Shalom to my AHPARYAM, YAHAWADH, who are diligently waiting to be delivered. It's lucky if you can hear me. Yahawadah, you can hear me. From this final captivity, this is Brother Kawakab coming at you with another lesson. Just want to do a quick, in transit lesson, as other brothers have called it. Talking about a little bit of, primarily this thing of, this whole vocab Malone thing, where he just, he can't live without going to harass some Israelites, all right? And, it is, in all honesty, it is harassment, all right? Because, a lot of times, people don't even want to talk to him, all right? Because he's always trying to, ask the same old tired questions that have been answered, according to the elders that have had to constantly deal with him, all right? And, thankfully, I have never had the displeasure of dealing with him myself, okay? Obviously, well, that's primarily because I'm more on the smaller side, but the main point is the fact that, you constantly have to deal, and this is something that I have dealt with in a similar case where there was times when I was in that Sakari spirit of, going in and debate with any, Christian that will engage in a debate with me, all right? And that was when I was younger in this truth, all right? Where I was like, okay, yeah, well, I know a few precepts. Let me go and cut these people, or whatever, or with the scriptures and whatnot. And yeah, while I was doing it, I was doing it with what limited knowledge that I had, okay? Because it was a very far cry of what I know now. There's a lot more understanding that I have now compared to back then, where it wouldn't even be a contest, and it would have just been like child's play for me now. But the point that I'm trying to get at is how, it doesn't matter if you prove beyond a shadow of a doubt that the Christian doctrine is wrong. The only thing that matters is that they will continue to deny reality, deny the truth, all right? One of the things that I would go to debate, I would use as a debating term was, when Yahawashi, he said, I come only for the lost sheep of the house of Israel, all right? So when he says that, when he says that, a Christian would have to either say one of the two things. Either A, he is lying, which scriptures say that Yahawashi, he never sinned, and he's not a liar. Okay, so that's obviously out of the way. And number two, you would have to say that Yahawashi doesn't know what he's talking about, or he's dumb in some type of way. Which, once again, if you are a true follower of Yahawashi, okay, if you believe in the word of YAHAWAH, Yahawashi, then there's no way that can come out of your mouth. But yet, okay, they deflect, they avoid, they sidestep, avoid confronting these types of things that are said by Yahawashi himself, because especially if they're in red letters. If he says, I am not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel, you have to deal with it. You have to come to the understanding that he did not come for any and all nations. He only came for Israel. So for them to have that incapability to deal with that scripture, okay, that already cuts the entirety of their doctrine. But yet, I'm not trying to make this a debate thing, all right? But getting back into the whole vocab thing. The main thing I really want to get into was how in actuality, if you do believe, if you do follow after, this gospel, then you should be following after what the scriptures say. What does the scriptures say when there's another camp or another group of people who claim to be following this truth? Okay, while I'm at a red light, let me get my notes. Acts chapter 5, verse 38. And I say unto you, refrain from these men and let them alone. For if this counsel or work or this work be of men, it will come to naught. Okay, this is in the scripture. So if the Israelites, if the so-called black Hebrew Israelites, okay, or if us Israelites were the work of men, if it wasn't the work of YAHAWASHI, all right, then he wouldn't even need to waste time or waste his breath on us, because it would already be a waste of time, or it would already not come to pass, it would not come to fruition. Okay, but it's simply because he knows that it's real. It knows that this is the work of YAHAWASHI, that he wants to involve himself in going against it, because as the scriptures say, you can do nothing against this truth before this truth. All right, and funnily enough, with all the contention that he's been bringing, all right, he's been introducing people to the Israelites. Okay, let me get this. 2 Timothy chapter 2, verse 23, the foolish and unlearned questions avoid, knowing that they do gender strife. Okay, so yeah, there was a time that he brought up, I think it was 1 Peter or 2 Peter chapter verse 15. Chapter 2, Saki, I forgot what it was, but basically the one verse that says, be always ready to give an answer, all right, where he brings that out to try to force a debate, force an interaction from Israelites, when, as I said before, he's been, giving problem, not necessarily giving problem, but like, what's the word, forcing Israelites, or it's not forcing, but engaging in debates with Israelites. All right. So with that, of him, with him, always doing that. Okay, there is that thing where we don't need to be engaging in foolish questions or questions that someone already knows the answer to. It's also an insincere conversation. Like, we know he's not going to change. He's literally just doing it for entertainment, or just, as I said before, harassment. He's paid off to harass. And initially, I thought it was only speculation, but clearly, there's a video which I just saw before I left today, of him literally admitting that he got offered money to freaking could keep on harassing the Israelites. All right, so yeah, it's not even a what's it called, speculation. It's a literal fact. Okay, said out of his own mouth. All right, I'm gonna link the video in the description. It is in another brother's lesson. I thought that was pretty funny. Before I made this lesson, when I was making my notes, I was thinking like, okay, so yeah, I'm going to say, I think it's a speculation, but I'm pretty sure, speaking as a man. But no, it's not. It's a literal fact that he dead ass is getting paid to go. And also, he's literally traveling everywhere, going to, I think he went to Europe or whatever to go and bother the Israelites and stuff. All right. Also, Proverbs chapter 26, verse 4, answer not a fool according to his folly, lest thou also be like unto him. Proverbs chapter 18, verse 6, a fool's lip enter into contention, and his mouth calleth for strokes. Okay, so he wants contention. He wants arguments. Okay, he doesn't really care about about truth. That's another thing. Okay, all of the prophecies. Okay, I believe I heard the exact term that I remember hearing him say. He said he's agnostic when it comes to prophecy. So it doesn't. The only thing that matters to him is proving the Israelites wrong. Okay, and another thing is that he doesn't care about converting all the people in Israel. He doesn't care about correcting any Christians that say or do anything. Okay, what does he? What is he? His whole life's work is only about debating Hebrew Israelites. All right, that's literally all he does. Which, again, once it goes to show, like, so like there were some comments I remember seeing where they had said, thank you vocab for introducing me to the Hebrew Israelites. Like, I thought that was funny. Obviously they're making a joke, but at the same time, like, a lot of his followers were, getting to even the people that aren't like Israelites, they were saying, like, dude, like, you are so obsessed with the Israelites. Like, why don't you go find something else to do? When in actuality, like, this is his job. Like, he's literally getting paid by the higher ups or whatever to do this. All right, and in addition to that, all right, this is what the Lord. This is the lot that the Lord YAHAWASHI put him on. All right, to funnily enough, spread this truth for people to go and see all this debates and stuff like that. All right, Slakia, I honestly think it's very funny. It's very humorous how someone whose life is to be against something, he's ironically doing the opposite. Okay, like I think it's very funny. It's very humorous. It's also funny how what's it called? The Lord works in mysterious ways. All right, and a lot of times, man's going are of the Lord. Okay, so Sakia, I'm trying to think of the wording off the top of my head. Man's goings are of the Lord. How can a man then understand his own way? All right. So yeah, things might seem to be going one way, or you might think that you have intentions this way, but the Lord made it so that it has an opposite effect. So yeah, he has his YouTube thing, his whole career, hell bent on disproving the Israelites, but in actuality, it's been doing the opposite. He's been, forwarding truth, forwarding Israelites to find out more. All right, and there's more and more people awakening to the fact that they are Israelites. All right, but yeah, so basically, in terms of him, I learned I guess a year or two ago, a few years back, definitely don't go wasting time to debating people. The thing is, the Lord told us to prophesy onto the wind. All right, and as we prophesy onto the wind, we put this truth out there. It's the Lord's law. It's the Lord's job to send the prophecy, send the word, send this truth out that we put out into the wind and make it travel and hit the ears of the elect. Oh, and because that's all we're here for. We're not here for everyone. We're here for the elect, which is a thing that's counterproductive. Wasting time trying to debate and convince everyone. Okay, when we're not supposed to be convincing everyone, we're supposed to be convincing the elect. All right, what's the word? As we speak and teach, as we speak and teach, we're basically it seems like we're teaching to no one, but in actuality we're doing our part in letting everyone know that this is the truth, this is what you have to learn, and the elect will get it. It's not our job to force someone. We can't force anyone. No one. We're not the dictators. We're not the people who decide who gets this truth. Okay, it's YAHAWASHI. YAHAWASHI. It already has his elect chosen. All right, and as we preach and teach, okay, then either the Lord's gonna let someone stumble across a YouTube video, or the Lord's gonna let someone walk by a camp and then let them get edified by it. Okay, everything is going to be set up by the Lord. Everything is already good, and it is an arrogant and proud thing for someone to think that, oh, I'm gonna do more. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna convince. I'm gonna change people. I'm gonna use gimmicks or whatever to entice people. Okay, which that was with the whole. That is the that's a lot of the case. Speaking as a man with the whole what's it called? Fuck. The whole debate thing. Okay, which funnily enough, I think Alazar I think it was Alazar who said it. He was the one who kind of exposed that himself. Okay, because I wasn't keeping track of his thing, but when I was watching the video that he had done addressing Hassad and Deacon Hakah leaving Sakari, he was saying like, oh, so now you guys freaking want to check out the YouTube videos when there's some drama going on and whatnot. When that's basically been the appeal to them in the first place. Like when there's drama, debate, or whatever, then that's when people click on it instead of people actually being there. Which he said that. He said people weren't even there to actually get edified. People are just there for the entertainment value of it. All right, which I mean, like that's like, did you expect anything else? Like how what else is there to be expected? There's a majority of people do not care to be able to learn to be more edified or be more educated in in the scriptures. Okay, all they care about is just a freaking, oh yeah, let me see Deacon Hassad or whatever talk shit to some Edomite pastor or whatever, or they cut pastor blah 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 and make them look stupid. Like that's the thing. Even I know people who don't. I know someone who doesn't even care about learning. All they care about is seeing people get told that they're dumb and whatnot, or engaging in debates. Okay, so that has been a big that is a big drama thing. Slocky, that is a big drama thing. Which we have to focus on because Slocky, that's the thing that people they see other people doing stuff, but they don't want to engage. So they don't want to not engage Slocky. They don't want to learn it on their own. Like you spend all this time, and while yes you can get some edification from debates, but like you're only dealing with certain things. You're not getting the milk or the more simplistic things from it. Okay, how are you going to know? How are you going to know about, or how are you going to understand that Romans 9 OC refers to Hosea, and then what does that mean that OC is referring to Hosea if you don't actually go in and learn what happened with Hosea, or let me go learn the history about this, that, and the third, or specifically Hosea. All right, so this is why it's important to learn the basics, okay, in order to get to the point. All right, which I would say that is me, but it's not really, because I've been learning. Okay, every day I do learn. I spend I don't know how many hours with an Israelite video. Well, basically, whenever I'll say whenever I'm at home, okay, I spend I don't know how many hours listening to some Israelite stuff. Which actually, speaking of which, I need to download some videos and put it on my phone. That's another thing. When you're driving, instead of listening to music, or when you're walking or whatever, just have some videos downloaded, or just be playing on YouTube a brother's video while you're on the move. All right, you can get edified at the same time as while you're on the move and whatnot. But yeah, so basically, with that being said, I thought it was a very interesting thing that people suck it that vocab is trying to take, or trying to force this I forgot what it was, 1 Peter chapter 3 verse 15, I think, to say, oh, be ready to give an answer always, when the Lord never told us to engage consistently engage with a dishonest person. All right, someone that's just there to start a fight and whatnot, verbal fight. All right, and of course, like, if they are GMS is definitely well in their right to call the cops on him if they are constantly being harassed, if he's always, and Saki, that was another thing. This one channel that was defending vocab was basically saying, oh, they're so cowardly, they're freaking calling the police. Like, I'm pretty sure you would call the police if someone was constantly went to your job or whatever, all right, and just to bother you and force you to answer the same tired old questions that you've been answering for the longest time. All right, it's like he already knows it, but he's denying it, he's rejecting it in order to try to force his doctrine. But yet, as elders have said, when they ask him questions, he never answers any of their questions. But their questions, his questions has to be answered, but they can't ask questions. All right, see the double standards. All right, Esau is using his authority, his authority over in his kingdom to try to force this double standard. All right, but yeah, basically, that's the majority of the thing. Just like in terms of like debates in general. Speaking as a man, I will say, definitely try to avoid debates, especially if you are newer in this truth. You're not fully rooted. All right, especially if you're not fully rooted, because just in general, it's not going to be very. It's not going to be well. Number one, people like him, people like vocab, or like pastors in general, like people who study the scriptures a lot. Their main goal isn't to come to an understanding, okay, or come to a compromise or anything like that. It's literally just to be contentious. That's basically it. That's their whole goal is, oh yeah, I want to make these Israelites or whatever, or look, this guy's the champion of Christianity because he debated and beat the freaking Israelites and whatnot. Okay, so like that's basically their whole goal. All right, it's not really anything spiritual behind it. So with that, I pray this lesson was edifying. I want to give all honor, glory, and praises unto YAHAWAH, YAHAWASHI, YAHAWASHI, the belongs to the elders and apostles, great millstone, AHPARYAM, and Shalom.